Hello students, welcome to the session of Environmental Science. I am Dr. Prerna, Assistant Professor at AISSMS College of Hotel Management and Catering Technology, Pune. In this session, we will start with new chapter, that is ecosystem. The objective for today's session are to know about what is ecosystem, learn the various parts of ecosystem, and understand the types of ecosystem. Now let's explore the fantastic world of ecosystem. What is ecosystem? An ecosystem is a geographic area where plant and animals and other organisms along with weather and landscape works together to form a complex web life. Imagine a pond where fish, tiny microorganisms, water, bacteria all interact with each other in their environment. In that, the ecosystem is consist of everything, tiny fish to the greater extent, the ocean. Now, let us explore the various parts of ecosystem. To begin with, we will see what are the different parts of ecosystem. In that, the first part of ecosystem consists of biotic components. Now, what is biotic component? We have already discussed about biotic component in our previous session in Introduction to Environmental Studies. But again, let's see what is biotic component. The biotic components are the living organisms or all living thing which is present in our environment. These organisms make the ecosystem functional. In this, there are three different parts considered in biotic components. The first is producer, second is consumer, and the third is decomposers. Now let's see what is producer. Producers are also called as autotrophs. These are the rock stars of ecosystem. They can make their own food with the help of sun, and the process is called as photosynthesis. In that, they use sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide. The prime examples of producers are plants, trees, algae. Now let's see who are consumers. Consumers are called as heterotrophs. They depend on others for their food. For example, there are different types of consumers: primary consumer, secondary consumer, and tertiary consumer. Now see who are considered under primary consumers. The primary consumers are herbivore. For example, rabbit, deer. They eat producers such as plants. Secondary consumers, they are carnivore like fox. They eat primary consumers. Or omnivores like bear. They eat both plants and animals. Next is tertiary consumers. Tertiary consumers are at the top of food chain. These carnivores or omnivores like lion or eagle feast on the secondary consumers. These are the various parts of consumer. Once again, primary, secondary and tertiary. Now the third and the last part of biotic component of the ecosystem are decomposers. The decomposers are those essentially players which break down dead bodies into organic matter from plants and animals. Think about fungi and bacteria. They are natural recyclers, returning nutrients to the soil to produce it again and make soil more fertile. Now let's see about the food chain. In this image, the food chain is represented. A simplified way of showing how energy flows through an ecosystem. You can see here, producers are at the base, which gets help from sunlight, water and air, and they create their own food with the help of photosynthesis process. Producers are at the base. The primary, secondary and tertiary consumers are after that, where the primary consumers are depend upon producers, secondary consumers are depend upon primary consumers, and tertiary consumers are depend upon secondary consumers. They get their energy from one another. And at the last food chain is the decomposers, where they will help to allow the direction of energy flow throughout the system. The arrow shows the direction of energy flow. Moving ahead, all living organisms cannot grow well without the help of abiotic components. They rely on non-living elements, and these non-living elements are none other than the abiotic components. These components include air, water, soil, sunlight, temperature, mineral. Air provides oxygen for respiratory in most organisms. Water is essential for all living organisms. Soil provides nutrients and support for plants. Sunlight, the main source of all energy, the fuel, that is photosynthesis. Temperature affects the type of organism that they can live in an ecosystem. And minerals, which are very essential parts for plants and animals. Moving ahead, we'll see in brief about ecosystem function. Now let's have a look in brief about functions of ecosystem. Healthy ecosystem perform vital functions that benefits all form of life. These functions are regulation, life support, stability, mineral cycling and nutrient cycling. Let's have a look one by one on these. Regulation. Ecosystem regulates essential processes like water cycle, climatic conditions and air quality. Life support, it provides clean air and water and food for living organisms. Stability. Healthy ecosystems are resilient and can adapt to change. Nutrient cycling. Nutrients are constantly recycled between biotic and abiotic components, ensuring their availability. Nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium are essential for plant growth. Mineral cycling. Minerals are cycled through the biosphere, essential for both plant and animal growth. Now we'll move ahead and see the various types of ecosystem. Our planet is a mosaic of vibrant ecosystem, each teeming with life and functioning in its unique way. Here is the breakdown of two main categories and some prominent examples within it. Now we'll see what are the types of ecosystem. The first type of ecosystem is terrestrial ecosystem, which is land-based. This ecosystem thrive on land and are shaped by factors like climate, soil, composition, and rainfall pattern. Here are some key types of terrestrial ecosystem. First one is forest, grassland, desert, and tundra. Now we'll have a closer look on each. Forest. Forest ecosystem is lush ecosystem dominated by trees, providing habitat for a vast array of animals, from insects to mammals. They play a crucial role in regulating climate and absorbing carbon dioxide. Examples of forest ecosystems are rainforest, temperate forest, and boreal forest. Next is grassland. It is an open area characterized by grasses and herbs as the dominant vegetation. They support grazing animals and are often found in regions with moderate rainfall. Examples are savanna, prairies, and steppes. Deserts. Arid region with scarce rainfall and vegetation. They are adapted to survive extreme temperatures and limited water availability. Examples of desert ecosystems are hot deserts and cold deserts. And the last is tundra, cold, treeless region with permafrost, which is permanently frozen soil. They are characterized by low growing vegetations like mosses and lichens. Examples of tundra ecosystems are Arctic tundra and alpine tundra. Another type of ecosystem is aquatic ecosystem, which is water based. This ecosystem encompasses all water bodies from fresh water to salt water and the organisms that live within them. Here is a closer look on each. Freshwater ecosystem, which is comprises of lakes, ponds, rivers, streams, and wetland fall under this category. They harbor diverse life forms from fish and amphibians to plants and microorganisms. Example of freshwater ecosystems are lakes, river, wetlands, and swamps. Another type of aquatic ecosystem is marine ecosystem, the vast and complex ecosystem of oceans and sea. They boost the greatest biodiversity on earth, with countless species adapted to life in salty water. Examples are coral reef, open ocean, and estuaries. Beyond this, there are some subcategories and variations. Each of this main type can further subdivided based on specific characteristics. For example, forest can be classified as tropical rainforest, temperate deciduous rainforest, or coniferous forest. Similarly, freshwater ecosystem can be classified as lentic, that is still water, or lotic, that is flowing water ecosystem. Apart from all this, there are some additional considerations in ecosystem. Human-made ecosystem. These are artificial ecosystems created or modified by human beings, such as agricultural fields, urban parks, or aquacultural ponds. Next one is extreme environment. With the unique ecosystem, it is exist in harsh environments like hydrothermal vents, polar ice caps, and hot spring, harboring specialized organisms adapted to these extreme conditions. With this, we come to the end. Now, let's recap our session. In this session, we discuss about the definition of ecosystem. What is ecosystem? Let's do a recap. Ecosystem is a geographic area where plant, animal and other organisms along with weather and landscape work together to form a complex web of life. Next, we have seen that what are the parts of ecosystem? Biotic components, in that producer, consumer and decomposers, and abiotic components, which were air, water, soil, sunlight, temperature and minerals. Last but not the least, we have seen the types of ecosystem. In that, we have seen two main types of ecosystem, which is terrestrial, land-based ecosystem, and aquatic, which is water-based ecosystem. Let us conclude our session. Ecosystems are complex and interconnected. They provide us with the resources we need to survive and the beauty that enriches our life. Understanding and protecting this vital system ensure a healthy planet for all of us. Thank you.